what all things you used to see before buying a brand. What is the quality you used to look at a founder? A lot of hearing from the educational background, solid on ITIM. Nika was very early in collaborating the celebrities and all. She knew that if she wants to do big in beauty in India, without doing the female celebrities, that won't be possible. I'll just take one step back. COVID came in 2020. What was happening in Myntra at that point of time?
Invest, or if I will ever build, I will anyway focus on those 5 things. You build business first and then build a brand later, or you build a brand first and you build a business later. Some extra points for being from a good pedigree, etc. But it was less than 10% weightage. The other big shift was a lot of offline shopping stopped and online shopping picked up.
Because we all know that in होम फर्निशिंग एंड फैशन में रिटर्न है सबसे ज्यादा, लेकिन इससे ऊपर नहीं होना चाहिए. इससे ऊपर जा रहा है, then maybe there is something wrong with the product. Second, what is the ASP that they should focus on? Third is again, मतलब bro, ऐसा
If it is more than, I'm not talking about RTO and cancellation, consumer return more than 30% is a problem. लेकिन नहीं होता, जब return feature बंद कर दो, मेरी growth 25-30% कम हो जाएगी.
we all know Amazon is facing a lot of competition from quick commerce, and they started facing that their dip after COVID. Is Myntra also facing competition on this? Because
So firstly, I think Myntra is relatively less affected by quick commerce compared
Got
to Amazon, because
the role of AI into e-commerce. How is the role of AI if they want to grow their career into this?
first of all, you need to have a mindset of automating. Can tech do it? I think a lot of sellers don't do that also. First, get that done. Then you can start applying AI.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of Add to Cart with Sunny Wadhwani. Thanks for watching the full episode 1, which we shot recently, and thanks for giving all the love and support in that video. So today we have a very, very special guest. I know him since a lot of years now, and we had worked in a very similar model company. So we have Mr. Pawan Kumar. Thanks, sir, for joining here. Thank you so much for giving your time. I really appreciate it out of your busy and hectic schedule, because we know that you've been doing a lot of things. So before you mention, let me introduce her a bit and then maybe he can carry on. So he was a part of the Myntra core team when Myntra was building up in India, especially across different categories, and he's a pass out from NIFT. So if I'm not wrong, maybe sir can add that he's like a fashion, maybe an expert in India, because he's worked across a lot of brands in fashion, not necessarily related to fashion only, but maybe more into fast forward fashion, sustainable fashion, and all. And then he was a part of the founding team of Mensa Brands, which was the fastest unicorn of India. So maybe he can add more into that. How did that happen? Right now, he's running his own marketing consultancy, helping fashion brands grow on the platforms where hardly anyone is solving the problem. Whether brands don't have any idea on how to grow their brands on Myntra and all. For Amazon and all, quick commerce again is that open space where people are still exploring. But Myntra and all, maybe apart from fashion also, I'll try to put up some questions so that it's related to across other categories as well. So, sir, on to you for a minute if I missed anything about you.
No, absolutely. First of all, Sunny, thanks a lot for having me over. I think it's always a pleasure to come talk about what we are doing, how we are doing in a manner that is useful for the larger audiences. And oftentimes we're busy running our own business so deeply that we don't step back and reflect as much. So I think that way podcasts and conversations like this are also good excuses for us to reflect our journey and learn from it and cascade our learnings to the people who are interested in the journey for sure. So very excited to be here, and I think no specific changes in the introduction. Yeah, mostly spent time in retail and e-commerce, and I think there's a lot to do. Already spaces are evolving, tech is changing, business dynamics are changing, categories are shaping very, very differently, consumer sentiments are changing separately. So I think there's a lot to talk about there. So hopefully it can be useful for the audiences for sure.
Yeah, of course, for our audience. Yeah. So I'll just start straight away with my first question. That's related to Myntra. I think a decade back when you joined Myntra, where was India in e-commerce? What all you used to do at Myntra? And third, very important, were you guys also anticipating that in the next decade this boom of e-commerce will come?
See, actually, 2014 is when I joined Myntra straight out of college. And I think that was a time when how quick commerce is today, or probably 4-5 years back, food tech was growing month on month 10%. right? At that point in time, fashion e-commerce was growing 10% month on month or 5% month on month. And I think that was a very exciting time. Those are typically the times where, you know, half the industry is divided between, yeah, log fashion online खरीदेंगे या नहीं खरीदेंगे. And that is a time where believers take a little bit of risk and go and bet on that. And I think after I joined, Flipkart acquired Myntra, and Myntra eventually 3 years down the line acquired Jabong. So industry was in the consolidation phase, etc. Nobody was making that much of money, etc. But I would say industry was at a point where there were a lot of people believing कि fashion कैसे online खरीदेंगे. आज भी marketplace was not a common model. Inventory
Right.
model was the majority of the model there. I remember a point where Mukesh Bansal had told us a story that Mukesh Bansal had gone to Puma office and sat for 8 hours. Then in the beginning, he was trying to onboard a lot of brands, etc. And things change over a period of time that now Puma is around 300-400 crores on Myntra or some big number like that.
Mm.
So I think it was a time where we were challenging brand sentiment, consumer sentiment, and all that, and we had taken a bet. And I think today we know that Myntra is a market leader in that space. So feel privileged to be a part of that in some way.
So exactly a decade after, I'll try to pitch in between around
Yeah, yeah.
18, 19. What was that period when you realized, यार अब ये तो boom करेगा? Like it's 2025 for quick commerce. Everyone knows that it's already booming and might boom further in the next 2 to 3 years. What was that time? And maybe you can chip in that Puma was one of them because it was a little difficult to convince all these brands as well, all these traditional brands कि आओ मतलब come in Myntra and start selling. So
Yeah.
what was that 2017, 18, 19? On some
Yeah.
period tha, right before COVID.
I would say, and I think different categories and different category leaders had seen a very different inflection point on Myntra, right? There are certain categories like casual wear and sportswear had seen adoption much faster. And the reason, let's say, sportswear had seen adoption faster was because most of the sizing of footwear is UK US based. UK 8, US 9 is the foot size that you would have or I would have. So the entire complexity of sizing was not there as much in footwear. So footwear saw a much faster adoption, but saw the economic model viability a little later because people were buying in outright and then not making money, etc. on both sides. But the casual wear, which is predominantly brands like Solly, VH, Peter England, and now Snitch, Rare Rabbit, etc. Indian sizing has been always a problem. So returns are a big problem, and hence people always felt sizing is not standardized, and there was a big fear of online becoming a threat to offline. So there were two sets of brands. I would say one set of brands were seeing online as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to acquire another set of clients, opportunity to acquire customers where your stores are not present, reach pin codes where you're not physically.
That's true.
That was one set of consumers, and also critically and just customer segment wise, tech savvy, younger millennial, Gen Z, all were now shifting to online. उस समय Gen Z नहीं था, right? Versus some people were looking at as a threat to offline. So I think वो हो रहा था, and the point came in I think somewhere in 2015-16 where we launched Louis Philippe. We were selling full price. It came into the top 10 brands, right? And the whole belief of can you sell something premium, can you sell something low discount was one big barrier to break. अभी भी बहुत लोगों को लगता है सब कुछ डिस्काउंट दिखता है, but that's not true at all. I'm not a big believer of that. So that was one myth that got broken. And second myth, which internally a lot of people had was in Myntra, at least we were worried, is not all categories is where you can make money. For example, for a long time we were not able to make money in personal care, but Nykaa was kicking it in a big way then.
So where do you see Nykaa was winning and Myntra was not able to resolve this? Where do you see was that off?
I think it's a little bit like you have a 30-member personal care team, right? They have a 400-member organization thinking, breathing, and see the DNA of a category or the DNA of the culture, right? It could be the category-led DNA or a cultural DNA. Both run across supply chain, storefront, the way you deliver, your packaging design, everything has to map to that, right? It has to be consistent. So Nykaa was able to bring that glam element in everything. That obviously there are some of the tech systems are still not as evolved as other platforms. We all know that, but I think one thing they have done gotten right is the consistency of branding and the focus of the category and the depth of the category. The moment you have like so many categories, verticalization, that's why is always an opportunity in the marketplaces.
Got it. So maybe I think Nykaa was very early in collaborating or giving equity to especially the celebrities and all. The Mr. Falguni Nair, the founder of Nykaa,
Yeah.
she knew that if she wants to do big in beauty in India, without doing the female celebrities, that won't be possible.
I think that was a part of the story. I always feel celebrities are a good vehicle to get
Temporary.
temporary reach, and in a very short span of time, you want to reach 10 million customers. Deepika, any of these guys who have very huge following can get you that, but eventually the product, the service speaks.
Eventually, yeah.
We know that there's a brand called Super U Bar. Ranveer or someone is now the brand ambassador. You will try the bar now, right? Because you've heard about it. Once you eat it, your next purchase is going to be a function of the product and quality and the brand language that they speak, etc. So I think eventually that will matter, and I think that they have done very well so far. Obviously, now
Right.
things are changing, I would say, but yeah, at that point in time, they did very well on that front.
Yeah. So I think you joined Mensa in 21 when I also joined Upscalio. This Thasio model was picking up,
Yeah,
but I'll just take one step back. COVID came in 2020. Still, I think you were there in Myntra for 1 year. What was that experience? Because Amazon shot up like this. It
yeah,
went to like with the power of E की power X का graph.
yeah.
And then after that, they got that reality कि ये same growth नहीं हम dip करेंगे. What was happening in Myntra was at that point of time, like maybe fashion was not वो थोड़ी it's more of like a want thing, less of a need thing when people are working from home. What was that experience at especially internal culture of Myntra, and were the brands in fashion, personal care, all this, they were also growing at Myntra, or Myntra was also growing fast, especially when COVID hit?
So I was actually at Swiggy then,
Okay.
from Myntra to Swiggy for a couple of years when I was running the private brands for Swiggy. But I do know what happened because I've had a lot of colleagues out there. So there are two shifts that were happening. One shift was consumers' demand shifted more towards essentials versus discretionary items, right? Which is what you spoke of. But the other big shift was a lot of offline shopping stopped and online shopping picked up because you wanted to limit exposure, physical exposure, and still wanted to get what you usually get. 90% of the market is still offline. So that shift was much higher than the shift of buying maybe a fancy jacket to now a loungewear t-shirt.
Loungewear t-shirt.
और वो जो loungewear t-shirt जिसको भी खरीदना था, all of them would have gone to an offline store. Also, a lot of them were coming online. So net, Myntra was seeing a very robust growth during COVID, and also after that, the recovery has been much better, I would say.
Got it.
And because Amazon is a little bit more essentials driven market,
Right.
that it did not see the benefit of
Benefit.
discretionary spends later. Then people started going out, start buying more fashionable stuff. Myntra was able to offer that, so Myntra gained. And I think it stayed relatively better after that also.
Got it. Now coming to Mensa, this Thasio model in 2021, I think where was that model? Where is it model right now? But before that, I would like to ask one very important thing because I think it would be very relevant to all the D2C founders as well. You being a part of the founding team of Mensa brand, what आप लोग क्या देखते थे? What are you used to see before buying a brand? Because it's very similar to investing in a brand also. It's just like
Yeah.
very similar to an investor
Yeah.
investing in a brand. That
Yeah.
is one thing. सेकेंड थिंग ऐसा क्या हुआ मेंसा में दैट कि 6 महीने में इट बिकेम द फास्टेस्ट यूनिकॉर्न?
You asked three questions. I'll probably take in that order. First of all, where is the model? Why did the model start, etc. So I think the idea was we have all seen house of brands and powerhouses of brands. Whether in fashion there is Aditya Birla Garden Group, in FMCG and beauty you have the likes of Marico, Jewel, etc. and Godrej, etc. And now Honasa is also a house of brands. They have multiple 500 crore plus brands. It's not only Mamaearth.
Right.
So the idea was actually to build a house of brands like Marico and HUL, where you are house of brands and you can eventually list as a house of brands, but in a much shorter span of time, because build would take 10 years, acquire and scale could have taken 5 years. So
Got
in
it.
half the time, can you create the same level of value, leveraging from the deep expertise that each of the founders have kind of built in? That's how the model started. And today, where the model is, I think I feel almost all of them have had a lot of tailwinds.
Got it.
Some of them have had, I would say, Mensa and Global Bees are the two which at scale have been able to sustain for a while, have been profitable as it is on the news a few times. So I feel among the big ones, these two have done relatively better, and there are a lot of others who have struggle to even continue to sustain. But what has happened in the model, I think heterogeneity of the brands is the biggest problem I feel.
What is the exact meaning of this?
So what I mean by that is if you have brands of multiple categories and multiple channels, and if
Got it.
the value chain is much more complex for each brand, then running it becomes a little bit more difficult. I think that is the
Yes.
main challenge behind it, and it's
Main
a fact.
challenge.
Yeah, and if all of them are of the same vertical, same category, same channel, then it becomes much more easier to build upon it, grow, and bring costs down, etc. So I think that is the core of the thing, which I think you only know learnings in hindsight. And I think, but having said that, some of them are also seeing revival. Even Flow, which is one of the smallest players, while 10 Club is shutting down, I think Even Flow is just raised around, which is impressive. Right, so I think there will be some revival, potentially some consolidation, etc. And hopefully Mensa definitely comes out shining because I see a lot of challenges in global please last couple of months, senior level exits, etc. So I think this was a big moment where like EdTech boomed, but then reshaping itself, and some of them are still winning. Like I think Upgrad is winning well, right? And there will be some of the ex Unacademy folks, etc. have moved out and starting something else, etc. So
That's
I
true.
think part of the journey, I guess, of how industry shapes up. But I think some of these will come out to be valuable companies of a different nature, and they will look very different in 5 years from now versus 5 years back. I
Right.
think
That's true. That's true.
that's how it.
Because
Yeah,
things are changing very fast. That's why I
yeah,
think you mentioned that after 5 years, maybe after 2 to 3 years, everyone has to change their own
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
business model and the way of working.
Absolutely. Yeah, globally also we have seen struggle in terms of threshold, etc. India, I think, is a lot more resilient a market. Indians are also very quick at reshaping the business model and learning very quickly. I think so. My sense is space will continue and space will prevail, but it will take a very different shape, different constructs, different nature of capital management. I think in terms of how you pay your founders, how you raise, how much debt to equity ratio, some of that will change in my view, and it will sustain well.
All things you used to see before buying a
Yeah,
brand.
yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing, and maybe you can add that कि अब 2023, 24, 25 में market में क्या हुआ? Why the liquidity has stopped? It's maybe because of the default cases that we've been hearing. Or second, it's like because everyone was focusing on growth, 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 and now everyone is talking about sustainability, WAS and tacos and all these things.
So yeah, the five things that we used to look at are the five things that we anyone will look at, and if I will ever invest or if I will ever build, I will anyway focus on those five things. We
Got it.
started with three things, and then we expanded the parameters to saying what is a good brand. So first of all, it's an important distinction to know that there is a business and there is a brand, right?
Got it.
There is a very interesting Arindam's post where you say that there are two ways of building a brand. You build business first and then build a brand later, or you build a brand first and you build a business later.
Got it.
So in a low involvement category like fans, for example, Arindam says that we first build the business, and then
Yeah,
business
yeah.
build होते रहेगा तो there will be enough पंखे कि लोग ब्रांड इवेंचुअली बन जाएंगे, ब्रांड इवेंचुअली
Yeah.
बन जाएगा विथ रीच, राइट? एंड द अदर वे इन अ वेरी हाई इन्वॉल्वमेंट कैटेगरी, फॉर एग्जांपल न्यूट्रिशन, you have to build a brand and trust first,
Got it.
and then you can build your business. And now I increasingly feel brands are mostly, I mean, at least at an early stage to identify, you have to pick brands, not businesses. So I think,
Got it.
and now coming back to this piece, right? What are the five things we used to look at? We used to look at growth. Historical growth is a very good determinant of future growth, right? Your how many runs have you scored matters more than how many words you speak,
That's
right? So
true.
actions speak much louder. So, and what type of growth? How has the growth come? Is it on the back of some one-time win? Was it just one-time channel expansion? I think where a lot of these Thrasio acquirers, I think Thrasio-led models failed is they did not go back and looked at what caused that growth, and if that
Okay.
lever is a rinse repeat lever. You know, let's say in an agency model, you hire a guy, great guy, he can manage two clients. You can hire a guy, you can get that lever is only valid for 10 more people, maybe. It will not scale for 100.
That's true.
So knowing कि ये repeatable lever है कि नहीं, and then knowing ये repeatable lever कब तक खींच सकते, right? So there are some growth levers which can be rinse repeated. For example, channel expansion. 4-5 चैनल इंडिया में 2 करोड़ कर रहा था, 1 और करोड़ करने लगा, एक और चैनल, अगले साल एक और चैनल,
हाँ, sir.
राइट? सो एक तो वो एक प्रॉब्लम था कि नॉट एवरीवन लुक्ड एट द कॉज ऑफ द ग्रोथ एंड रिपीटेबिलिटी ऑफ द ग्रोथ. व्हेन यू ड्रैग इन एक्सेल सेइंग अच्छा ये में 40 कर रहा है, अगले साल भी 40 कर लेगा, अगले साल एक नया चैनल नहीं.
नहीं आएगा.
So it was the growth growth and composition of growth was first learning. Second was profitability. We used to look at that if you are not EBITDA positive, then are you CM2 positive? And are we seeing fixed costs leverage? If fixed cost as the proportion of revenue is coming down, are your marketing efficiency improving, your gross margin improving? So fundamentally, is the health going towards a place where you can have a 10, 12%, 15% EBITDA? But then we used to look at customer experience, product rating, reviews, very, very deeply. We used to study that to say, is this a brand that customers try? And we used to try our product and we used to give the product to some of our colleagues, family members to say, will you try and will you recommend this product to your family members? If that is the case, then it's usually a good product. And then the last two were founder quality or team quality. And the fifth one was eventually teams run the company and founders run the company. So the caliber of that team is important. Last thing we used to look at is defensibility. Is this a low barrier to entry industry or is it a high barrier to entry industry? So the yahi tha. And I think we tried to apply this framework to all brands. We spoke to 1,000 brands and acquired only 2% of them, which is only 18 brands. We tried our best in terms of acquiring the best, and they were one of the best brands we could have acquired.
Right.
Some of the growth was, I think, slightly tailwinded. COVID के कारण आया and फिर repeat नहीं हुआ, right? I think hence when you are also pitching as brands to investors, paint a realistic picture because disappointment is something that you want to avoid both sides. So that was the thing. So maybe I'll move to the last question. First was I think just a lot of capital available and some very good execution in the first 6 months.
Got it.
I think that was all. In hindsight, if we had raised less capital for a long period of time, that may have been better. Maybe I don't know, but it's again learning. But we never aimed at valuation or unicorn as a thing. We were trying to build a business.
Got it. So, last 2 points I got you, ease of entry as a barrier and the founder and the team's quality. But maybe you can just spend a 1 minute on that. What is the quality you used to look at a founder? Because in 21, 22, or correct me if I'm wrong, there was a lot of hearing from the educational background solid on IIT, IIM.
Education level,
Got it.
you get some extra points for being from a good pedigree, etc. But it was less than 10% weightage. The weightage was when you talk to the guys, right? Does he understand the difference between cash flow and EBITDA?
Got
Is it all air or he's really into the business, right? And do you and there is one more aspect, right? You are running a 50 crore brand. Can I see this person to run a 500 crore brand or a 300 crore brand? Because building a small business from zero takes a very different skill, and I think probably it's harder. But if we don't see this person to be the right person to scale it to 10x, then we know that the onus is on us to take the 50 to 500. And the cases where we saw that यार इस बंदे को enable कर दो तो यही बंदा 50 से 500 कर देगा, तो वो एक plus point हो जाता है कि this guy is more of a partner for us rather than I'm buying the brand from you.
So if you summarize maybe in a minute, maybe if any founder who's looking to raise as an investment and they also have that basic level of education, maybe graduation plus masters with not somewhere from a marquee business school, or maybe if he's an engineer then not from IIT, what would be the top 3 qualities that you look at apart from all the metrics and all, maybe in terms of honesty coachability what are the top 3 qualities that you would look and you would suggest to a founder before raising?
I think it comes down to ability to see every founder needs to have a vision. So I'm sure founders have vision. I'm assuming that is there.
Yes.
But a lot of people are not able to paint the picture of your vision in a simplified manner in a way that others understand.
Others
So
understand.
ability to first to have a vision. I mean, without a vision, you're just hacking, right? You're just trying to get to. तो एक vision होना चाहिए कि you are envisaging a very different world with your business, etc. Right? And I'm trying to build that, and it can all be hypothetical for all you know. So having that vision and being able to articulate in terminologies and language, in simplified language that investors understand, I think that is a very important thing because it's often the communication barrier that I'm not able to understand what he's saying is why fundraising. I mean, apart from the fact that you need to actually build a very good brand, etc. Since you're talking about the skills of the founders need to have the zoom out, zoom in capability, right? Is able to paint a larger picture. But if I go and talk to you about one style, why that one particular product worked versus not, right? And how exactly is your, let's say, a lint remover different from the others is lint remover? If you have that granular understanding
Of your product.
then I think that guy is a passionate, deep. So deep expertise in product is needed, and being able to articulate your vision is needed. and then the rest is about अगर business grow होगा तो investors are like if there is honey there will be ants, right? So if you build good stuff then I think you will get investment.
Got it. So now coming back to today, we try to move a little faster.
Yeah.
Maybe want to talk a little about fashion brands and then non-fashion as well. How can a fashion brand grow on Myntra? I'm not coming to ads. Maybe you can divide it into non-ads. These are the parameters, and then from ads, that is a separate thing. How can a fashion brand grow on Myntra as a platform? Or you would suggest that they should first focus on their own website, building their own D2C website, bring traffic from Instagram to D2C. Yeah, so maybe Myntra versus website.
Yeah. So I have seen a lot of brands doing well from D2C first and then going to marketplaces somehow. And I don't think it's the ideal approach necessarily, but it's a good
Got it.
approach. And the
Good
reason I do that is when you do your D2C, your content, your product attributes, your taxonomy, your shoots, your articulation, your collections, your marketing assets, all of them get ready. Unfortunately or fortunately, marketplaces take less of creative assets and they do the heavy lifting on how to sell and how to
Right.
distribute. When you do your own site, your assets become much richer, your branding becomes much richer because you have the entire canvas open to you. So, and that is why I've seen that your brand identity gets established much better if you also build D2C in the beginning and not start with only marketplaces, because if you do only marketplaces आपका धंधा चलने लगता है and then you are like अरे मेरे को क्या जरूरत है अच्छे से शूट करने की, मित्रा करके दे रहा है ना, मतलब so then you don't build collateral, you don't build assets, you don't build a communication channel with the brand, with the customers about the brand, so you don't talk anything but the product, and that's not how a
Got
brand is built. Brand is an emotion and a combination of emotion and trust. When I think of Apple, I think of premium and I think of great design, right? I don't think of iOS 13.4.5 or whatever. जैसे निकल के एक emotion ई branding बहुत जरूरी है, and I think वो अब पूरी तरह marketplace में नहीं. So I would always recommend always do D2C and marketplace. At least in the first year, you should start your D2C for sure, and not think of any sequencing. A good brand will always have your website. If I get a product from marketplace, देखूंगा and मैं checkout करना आपका पूरा story समझना. Only 10% of your customers will go to your website maybe or less, but those 10% will talk to 100 people more. 1:10. एक X करके ब्रांड है, वेबसाइट बहुत कूल है, उन्होंने एक छोटी सी कूल सी चीज की अगर तो आप 5 लोगों को, so talkability goes up, your storytelling goes, and that's how brands are built. So that is that. How to grow on Myntra? I think the rules are not dramatically different from Amazon, I would say. Maybe only exception being speed of delivery in fashion is not as sensitive as let's say a nutrition category or a household category, etc. Same day, next day is not that much important. Obviously, within a Levi's denim coming 5 days from now, or a Levi's denim coming tomorrow, there is other things being equal, delivery speed matters, right? But relatively less sensitive to like I try to shop in quick commerce. If the variety is not good enough, 10 minutes I don't care, right? But मेरे को मोजा चाहिए तो I care.
I can.
तो स्लीपर्स चाहिए, घर पे स्लीपर्स टूट गया है, I care. Stuff like that. But by and large, to grow on Myntra, I think just focusing on strong quality content, very good product rating, very good product quality, and the most common thing that most brands struggle even today and will continue to struggle is size level replenishment, right? 6 sizes going to 5 is a problem. 5 sizes going to 4 is a problem. A lot of people say, 3 sizes तो है बेच दो. When your sizes become from 6 to 3, you may think 3 sizes contribute to 75% of the business, but your business will tank by 60%.
60%.
The algorithm will ghost you, your visibility will drop, and then algorithm will re-rate you as a struggling style, and like double depromotion होगा. और उससे, so I think most important is content, product quality, and size level replenishment. And if you do that, ads is something companies like Growpreneur or companies like the Good Growth Company can very easily take care of. I actually think ours is a not so irreversible a problem. Mistakes of 1 week can be corrected next week. So we have figured that. So I would say only that.
And what about after the size replenishment? How does adding more and more designs also help in growing?
Yeah. I think there are two aspects I did not cover. One is in the beginning having a distinct taste. In fashion, जैसे कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, लार्ज अप्लायंसेस में फीचर मैटर करता है कि आपके लैपटॉप में ऐसा क्या नया फीचर है. आपका कीबोर्ड वाटरप्रूफ, इफ आई गेट अ कीबोर्ड which is waterproof, I would love, because I have water, coffee all the time on my desk. Kid keeps coming and tries to play with my laptop, but किसी ने बनाया नहीं अभी तक. Right, so one of the very smallest features can sometimes be the needle mover. Right? Like, for example, it's a Featherlight chair that I sit on. few chairs I would say has a wheel lock. Because I'm talking to you, I'm doing like this and पीछे गिरने लगता है chair. Right? Very very small consumer pain points when you carry your luggage, including Mokobara, not they don't have this feature. जब बस में travel करते हो, आपका
इधर उधर होता है। I saw this, yeah, wheel lock.
बाकी जो लोग कर रहे हैं वो सब कुछ समझ एक कोई thoughtfulness आपने ऐड किया है. So I think thoughtfulness is the most underrated thing. When you and I are going to a cafe, I open the door to say Sunny after you, right? Thoughtful. नहीं भी करोगे तो फर्क नहीं पड़ता, right? But I think thoughtfulness will differentiate good founders and good brands from others. And I think how do you translate that thoughtfulness to your packaging, product features, communication, etc. I think that's what I feel is extremely difficult to execute. Fashion में उसका equivalent is your taste seeming distinct and is it thoughtful. दुकान नहीं बनाना है हमको brand बनाना. You need to launch newer products in different sub segments, right? And try to do more of what you have done well. Plus also do 30% of what you want to try. You are great at cord sets, try dresses. If you're great at dresses, try tops. Tops is a huge market. If you crack tops, try denim. So get to the start with a niche and then go to slightly bigger, but keep protecting your mainstay so that nobody else comes and takes away that share. So new products are extremely important. Freshness are very, and then the formula is launch 100, double down on 10 or 20. Launch 100. People feel मैं 20 launch करूंगा 20 को ही फोड़ दूंगा. I think कुछ भी कर लोगे 20 successful नहीं हो. Launch 100, double down on 20. And I think people make mistakes on both the sides. They will launch only 30. 3 बचे 3 में replenish नहीं करेंगे बोलेंगे अरे success hit rate नहीं है. So if you don't have money or enough free capital to be able to double down on your winners, then how can you win Olympics?
That's true.
उसमें से 3 को जिसको ओलंपिक जाने का पोटेंशियल है उसमें अगर आपके पास पैसा नहीं इन्वेस्ट करने को तो पूरे 100 लोगों की ट्रेनिंग बर्बाद हो गई ना. सो आई थिंक इट्स दैट हैविंग कैपिटल एनफ टू एटलीस्ट डबल डाउन ऑन योर विनर्स लाइक स्टॉक मार्केट. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट.
So a great point came out of, I think, what you were mentioning. I also saw this, maybe one of the reels. I don't know where I saw this point that his bag was dragging out in the bus. So this is what you expect next can happen in e-commerce, that maybe feature-based brands might come, because only design, for example, if there's, I don't want to name any brand, we have been buying these trolleys from the range of 3,000 to 6,000. So today there have been a lot of new age brands into this, selling at 8K, 10K, 12K. So do you feel that just on the basis of design, charging double won't help them in the longer term? They should think about these features so that they can tap to this Gen Z as a market as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is more premiumization to be had than it is visible. If you keep offering कि सस्ता है 500 रुपए का ये 600 रुपए का, तो लोग वही खरीदेंगे. जब आप किसी कस्टमर को दिखाते हो कि ये भी है तो इंडिया में प्रीमियमाइजेशन को, एंड इवेंचुअली पीपल वांट टू अपग्रेड. 80% ऑफ द फोन्स इन दुबई आर ऑल आईफोन्स एंड आईफोन इज द मोस्ट एक्सपेंसिव फोन यू कैन गेट बाय एंड लार्ज. तो इंडिया में भी 80% आईफोन आई एंटिसिपेट मे बी नॉट 80 मे बी 40% चला जाएगा, राइट? इवेंचुअली इट विल हैपन अनलेस एंड्रॉइड is also going to premiumize in a big way. So I think I am a big believer of premiumization. Then go cheaper, do price disruption. I think the Kishore Biyani वाला जो फ्यूचर ग्रुप का स्ट्रेटेजी था, जो रिलायंस ट्रेंड्स का स्ट्रेटेजी था, वो सब ऑफलाइन का एक अलग मॉडल था. ज़ूडियो स्ट्रेटेजी वो एक अलग मार्केट है. अगर आप नया ब्रांड बना रहे हो शुरू में, तो आई वुड से, एंड दैट्स अ लार्ज स्केल लो मार्जिन बिजनेस, एंड इफ द मार्जिन ऑफ एरर इज लो, वहाँ पे हल्की गलती से बहुत बड़ा गेम हो सकता है. बट इफ यू आर अ न्यू फाउंडर ट्राइंग टू build something in the mass premium to premium, get that established. Then if you want to gradually reduce the prices to get a larger share, that is fine. But I think there's a huge opportunity in India for premiumization.
Coming back to fashion, if a founder is running, maybe, or a company or a team is running their business, whether that is on website, Amazon, Myntra, in order to, maybe you can guide or help them that these should be the metrics. इससे ऊपर hit कर रहा है, then there is a problem. First is return rate, because we all know that home furnishing and fashion में return is सबसे ज्यादा है, लेकिन इससे ऊपर नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर इससे ऊपर जा रहा है, then maybe there is something wrong with the product. Second, what is the ASP that they should focus on, because at the end फिर उसमें ROAS की problem आती है. Third is again, मतलब ROAS, I know बहुत वेरी करता है brand to brand how they are operating, but still maybe ROAS or tacos की, especially in the first 3 years, so that they are able to sustain और side में थोड़ी growth भी आए. What is something that you want to mention on these 3 metrics, or if there's any other metric more important on fashion that I missed, maybe you can add that.
See, I think ASP से ज्यादा मैटर करता है ग्रॉस मार्जिन. Obviously, ASP has a certain repercussion on the ROAS, etc. But gross margins, if they're high enough, then you will sustain, because Myntra also keeps reducing the commission if your price points is lower by design,
Okay.
right? So it kind of compensates for the problem of not able to grow low ASP, etc. So I will not say don't do low ASP, but if you see a category where low ASP में कोई बना ही नहीं रहा है कुछ, राइट, एंड सब लोग ही महंगे हैं किसी सब कैटेगरी में, और पेनिट्रेशन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर ऑल मींस गो एंड बिल्ड इट. एंड आई डोंट बिलीव द फैक्ट दैट जैसे पीटर इंग्लैंड की ब्रांड परसेप्शन और लुई फिलिप की ब्रांड परसेप्शन में 2x का डिफरेंस शायद नहीं था. पीटर इंग्लैंड को भी लोग ट्रस्ट करते थे, बट एएसपी में 2x का डिफरेंस था, राइट. तो पीटर इंग्लैंड को लोग अभी भी थोड़ा बाहर के ब्रांड वगैरह समझते थे. अभी ऑब्वियसली स्टोरी इज डिफरेंट. The point I was making is don't go after ASP. Think of where you can serve the customer very very well. अब 5,000 का पार्टी ड्रेस नहीं बहुत अच्छा लोगों को, तो मैं वो बना सकता हूँ. दैट कैन बी अ गुड स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. 900 रुपए का डेनिम नहीं मिल रहा है वो बहुत बढ़िया, और मैं बना सकता हूँ, और 300 रुपए में बना के 900 रुपए में बेच सकता हूँ. Go for that. So wherever you see an opportunity, and remember that you may get more easily disrupted in a 900 denim than a 500. So that becomes your defensibility. But coming back to your question on matrices, if it is more than, I'm not talking about RTO and cancellation, consumer return more than 30% is a problem.
Got it.
Because in general, if you're trying 3 products in offline, you buy one or two. ब्रांड बोलता है मेरा कपड़ा पहनो, देख लो आईने में, फिर डिसाइड करो. You know, that's already a very high bar. Actually, if you look at it, it's great कि पहन के देख रहे हो, राइट. सो अब लोगों को आदत हो गई है, मंगवाते हैं, पहन के देखते हैं, डिस्कस करते हैं, बोलते हैं नहीं यार ये फिट नहीं हो रहा, अच्छा नहीं है, एंड देन दे रिटर्न. सो इट्स नॉट प्योर कंज्यूमर रिटर्न, इट्स एक्चुअली ट्रायल, बिकॉज ट्रायल इज नॉट सॉल्व, ट्रायल रूम एक्सपीरियंस इज नॉट सॉल्व्ड ऑनलाइन येट, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस रिटर्न बिजनेस हैपेंस. एंड नॉट ऑल ऑफ दिस इज बैड. अगर ये नहीं होता, जब रिटर्न फीचर बंद कर दो, मेरी ग्रोथ 25-30% कम हो जाएगी, right? So that is why it's an enabler. So I don't think it's a big problem. You have to bake that cost of trial room into your business and build your ASP, gross margins and COGS accordingly, right? Rather than trying to या रिटर्न कम करो. रिटर्न कम करना बहुत ही मुश्किल काम है. आप SKU रैशनलाइजेशन कर.
Meaning of that?
SKU रैशनलाइजेशन का मतलब ये हुआ कि 100 प्रोडक्ट हैं, एवरेज रिटर्न 30% है. कुछ ऐसे प्रोडक्ट है इसके रिटर्न 50-60% है. आपको पता है 3 बार खरीद के 2 लोग वापस कर रहे हैं, तो फंडामेंटली कुछ फिट में, कम्युनिकेशन में, सिलवेट में, फैब्रिक क्वालिटी में, कलर फास्टनेस में प्रॉब्लम है. सो आई थिंक अगर आपको नोन इशू लगता है तो यू स्टॉप दैट प्रोडक्ट डिस्काउंट. दैट हैज टू बी अ क्लीन अप प्रोसेस दैट यू डू, अदरवाइज यू विल हैव सो मेनी dissatisfied customers, P&L will look worse, brand will get damaged, all the things, right? So which you want to not do. So I would say 30% के ऊपर रिटर्न है कंज्यूमर रिटर्न. अगर कम स्पेंड कर रहे हो तो 5-6 होना चाहिए, ज्यादा स्पेंड कर रहे हो तो 4-5 भी चलेगा. भी आप काम नहीं कर सकते हो, बिकॉज नेट पे आते आते 3 का ROAS 1.5 का हो जाता है. 100 रुपए दे के 150 का रेवेन्यू, या 1000 रुपए दे के 1500 का रेवेन्यू इज, it's I think too much investment. I think it's sufficient to get to that, and you should spend somewhere between 7-8-10% of your gross revenue.
Gross revenue.
Yeah, I think not passing everything on discounting is the bad strategy, because you need to compete on glance views, not only compete on conversion, right? You need to have a balance.
That's so.
That's what I would say.
Just have very one important question for non-fashion brands on Myntra. I think वहाँ पे there is no point of size. Designs का भी वहाँ पे नहीं है, I know, and इसका रोल नहीं है.
Okay. See, where size complexity is not there, there is one less problem, which means all other brands are also going to have one less headache.
Got it.
Which means the bar on content, pricing, promotion, etc. goes up. तो सब लोगों की लड़ाई उधर ही है. साइज लेवल रिप्लेनिशमेंट कुछ नहीं है. आपने एक सनस्क्रीन बेचना है, या फिर आपने एक बेडशीट खरीद लिया, आपने 1000 पीस बना लिए, रिप्लेनिशमेंट का लोड ही खत्म. एंड व्हाई साइज लेवल रिप्लेनिशमेंट बिकम्स अ प्रॉब्लम इन फैशन इज बिकॉज इतने साइजेस हैं, तो MOQ के अंदर फिट करते हो तो कोई ना कोई साइज ब्रेक होता है, तो दैट बिकम्स अ कोर कैपेबिलिटी इन इटसेल्फ. नाउ इफ दैट सब्जेक्ट इज आउट, then there are fewer subjects to compete on, right? And hence I would say content and marketing. Content, product quality के बिना तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Product quality, content, and how sharply is your campaign structure done, and how dedicatedly are you spending on each product. Do you know the cycle of spending a lot in the beginning, then organic ranks going up, then organic picking up? The principles of Amazon actually work on Myntra also now, right? But the way to execute is different.
Amazon is facing a lot of competition from quick commerce, and they started facing that they dip after COVID. because they were expecting that similar growth what happened in COVID. जो कि नहीं होना था, वो possible नहीं था.
Correct, correct.
And then Zepto suddenly came into the picture. Swiggy also jumped into Instamart. Blinkit is again from Zomato. And the way they are expanding, or they have expanded in the last 1.5 years, itna fast किसी ने anticipate नहीं. Too
Correct.
fast. That was, they have revolutionized how Indian consumers have started buying it. Because it's like, for example, Mother's Day है. मैं अगर भूल भी गया हूँ, if I am close to metro or tier 1 city, कोई बात नहीं, मैं सुबह order कर लूँ. Because
Correct.
वो मेरे को, और मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली चाहे वो वाइफ का बर्थडे हो या एनिवर्सरी हो, आई नो कि अगर मैं भूल भी गया हूँ, मेरे पास 10-15 मिनट में. कमिंग टू मिंत्रा ऑन दिस, इज मिंत्रा ऑल्सो facing competition on this? Because I know that quick commerce is really picking on one category of fashion, which is innerwear. Brands are picking up on quick commerce. And second, is Myntra also trying to enter into categories outside of fashion, skincare? Are they trying to build it? Or they are only focusing on ki isi mein onboarding these brands? So I have two questions on this.
Yeah, no. So both the answers are very clear. So firstly, I think Myntra is relatively less affected by quick commerce compared to Amazon, because Amazon had a lot of, see, quick commerce is a Jim Ross game. Gross margin return on square feet, right? कि एक दिन में, so biggest cost is rental and labor, and if you allocate all cost per square feet, you need to have a certain revenue per square feet and hence a gross margin per square feet, right? कभी भी फुटवेयर बहुत बड़ा नहीं हो सकता है because उसके डब्बे बहुत बड़े होते हैं.
डब्बे बड़े होते हैं.
And it has sizes. It cannot be very big. So inherently, whichever takes a lot of space, any category which is a variety-led category, will not be very big on quick commerce in the current shape and form. Tomorrow there could be a very different model where हो सकता है माल इधर ambience mall से उठा के ला, may not be 10-minute delivery, it could be a 2-hour delivery, and I don't care. Delivery, and for all you know it can just be 1-hour delivery, right? कि बंदा उधर से सामान ready है, वहाँ पे एक सब कुछ fast checkout, एक counter अलग से billing, अलग से एक बंदा रखा. It there can be set up which can be current avatar. I think relatively one size products and less variety driven categories picked up a lot more, and second is impulse categories picked up a lot more. Gifting, कुछ भूल गया, resort shirt, white shirt, मोजा नहीं मिल रहा, मोजा ले लिया, etc. And also, you know, innerwear, essentials, etc. में huge variety नहीं चाहिए होती है. आपको
नहीं चाहिए होती.
Pack of work खरीद के बैठ जाते हो, right? A pack of, so entire fashion is not fully variety driven. Some pockets which are not variety driven is taken away. I think that a little bit. But I do think they have a long way to go in terms of user experience, etc. On fashion, they're struggling a bit. I think Zepto we do for a few brands. I think eventually they'll probably get it, but I think relatively less affected. Having said that, one good thing that has happened is now even the bigger e-commerce players are focusing on speed of delivery. Overall, e-commerce की speed of delivery, consumer is going to benefit. Overall, और value chain की कुछ inefficiency होगी निकल जाएगी, और जो efficiency add हो रही है उसके लिए consumer pay करने को तैयार है. तो दोनों चीज अच्छी चीजें, right? And the second question you asked is Myntra adding? I think yes, very much they're adding home, they're adding personal care, they're adding wellness products. From what I understand, they would love to have a business as big as Nykaa and as valuable as Nykaa. So I'm sure that's a big bet for them. Yeah, I think they're definitely building BPC, and BPC is definitely home, beauty and personal care, kids are some, and essentials as a category they must be building. And with M Now, which they're trying, I'm sure some of this will become a lot more relevant. So for, I think Myntra, I feel that there's an additional business to be had through quick commerce, not the existing business to go faster.
Got it.
In my view, yeah.
So maybe just one last question on this quick commerce.
Yeah.
I think you already mentioned a lot of insights and learnings on this quick commerce. Where do you see Indian e-commerce ecosystem in the next 5 years? Let me tell you from where I'm coming from. Flipkart is already live with Flipkart Minutes. Amazon is testing with their quick commerce Amazon Now, which is live only in Bangalore. And then Zepto, Blinkit. Zepto just launched their data platform with Atom 11, which will be subscription based. Blinkit doesn't give that much data in the form of analytics because they also charge per month, which Amazon is not doing it. And they keep on adding. If you remember, it was just no delivery. Now delivery is adding, handling charge is also getting added. I'm very sure this minimum order value might go to 500, which is 200 right now. What exactly will happen? Maybe not from a consumer, but from a seller aspect. Because from consumer, we know whatever happens, consumer wins. But from a seller or from the brand aspect, what is going to happen in the next 2-5 years?
Yeah, no, I think पहली चीज तो every brand wants to enter quick commerce, right? To say, okay, कैसे, you know, I keep seeing in various WhatsApp groups, do you have a connect in Blinkit? Do you have a connect in Zepto? I have launched a brand, I want to launch on quick commerce. I mean, see, quick commerce is a little bit like Shopper Stop lifestyle where the only finite number of brands will eventually stay. So if you got an entry this year or this season, you can be an exit next year. It's
Yeah,
not a
that's true.
permanent
Very
license,
true.
right? Unlike an Amazon or Myntra, where you're actually serving from your capacity of storage. You are just taking virtual space, and there's unlimited virtual space because of tech, and listings is what you own. And if you can market listing efficiently, you will not be ever delisted, right? From quick commerce, entry is a limited time. Most brands don't know this key. Agar if you are not delivering, if I am launching a Super U brand or I am launching an energy bar brand, and if Whole Truth is giving double the margin per square feet for Zepto, they will take me out of all their dark stores and put Whole Truth. They will have 4 types of bars. You will not have 10 types of bars or 15 types. Amazon will continue to have 20 types of bars, right? So don't take today's success of quick commerce as a permanent success.
Got
The
it.
thing that I anticipate is that a lot of brands who have Go Zero being one of the exception, and Go Zero I sometimes worry, they're one of the best brands I think now in the internet, right, in quick commerce. But there could be another Go Zero that will come, and suddenly there could be a big risk, right? And I think it will eventually come down to can they keep innovative, keep executing, etc. वैसे अच्छे brands को छोड़ बहुत ऐसे brands हैं जो बोलते हैं हमने 2 करोड़ कर लिया महीने का, हमने 5 करोड़ कर लिया, etc. अगर आपसे कोई अच्छा एग्जीक्यूशन आएगा या बेटर मार्जिन भी तो आप हट सकते हो, राइट? सो वो एक बहुत बड़ा रिस्क है कि आप भी पैसा बनाओ और वो भी पैसा बनाए. अगर दोनों में से एक भी नहीं हो रहा है तो प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिट नहीं है. एंड आई फील क्विक कॉमर्स में ASPs बढ़ेंगे, AOVs बढ़ेंगे, बिकॉज look at the Swiggy's last quarter results. They have burnt 1,000 crores.
Right.
And I think there will be stock price pressure, market pressure, recessionary cross-border pressure, etc. We are seeing tariff wars, real wars happening, etc. So profitability and capital efficiency will be a real thing because growth
Real
जो
thing.
5 साल में आई है, अगले 5 साल में इंडिया में लग नहीं रही है उतनी ग्रोथ आएगी. हो सकता है आ जाए, but it's going to be difficult with AI going out, going in. Jobs are at risk, right? So with and jobs at risk will mean lower discretionary spend in general, sentiment getting affected, demand getting lower. तो प्रेशर प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पे आएगा. प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पे प्रेशर आते ही सारे क्विक कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स थोड़े AOVs बढ़ाएंगे, कॉस्ट कम करें. कॉस्ट ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस इन क्विक कॉमर्स इज गोइंग टू गो अप बिकॉज मोर नंबर ऑफ ब्रांड्स वांट टू सेल, and that will cause some exits also. And I
Right,
think
right. Because
that
what
could
I've
be
been, what I also been hearing that people are very keen to enter into quick commerce, but maybe 3 months or 6 months down the line, they are itself thinking, कि let me exit is because profitability and all. If you don't have too much cash, they're not able to sustain it.
yeah, correct. Absolutely. And I always tell people start with 10 pin codes and figure out your economics.
Figure out. That's true. That's very true. And good, you mentioned on AI, and this I'll ask you from two aspects. What would be the role of AI into e-commerce? And I'm just asking you from two aspects. One, who really wants to grow their career in e-commerce, maybe e-commerce manager, degree wala banda ho, marketplace ho, marketing ho. And second, from maybe founder or seller aspect, what all? Maybe you can talk about tech or data. How is the role of AI if they want to grow their career into this? What are the skills that they should add? And how seller or brands can make use of this?
Yeah, so irrespective, the answer is same. If you are running a business, so running a key function for a different brand or running your own brand, or are you a seller? First of all, I think there is a big. Have you seen the job market where there are a lot of jobs and there are a lot of candidates, but they're just not able to find each other, right? I am feeling that there are a lot of people who want to learn AI and there are a lot of tools, but they don't know which tool to learn, where to apply. There's a big gap of a bridge, I feel, today, right? So I think till some new solutions come in, or till AI can tell us कि ये कर लो, etc. Whenever there's a time intensive, effort intensive activity, or whenever there's any repeatable task that you are doing, first of all you need to have a mindset of automating. Can tech do it? I think a lot of sellers don't do that also. First get that done, and I think and there has to be a first level of before you build deep tech, you need to build shallow tech. Build or borrow. You need to start using shallow tech, and unless you start thinking data, numbers and transparency of data, transparency of tech, तब तक आप AI तक पहुंच नहीं पाओगे, is what I feel. Once you start seeing basic level automation, then you can start applying AI, and I think AI is applicable in our cataloging, in our ad creatives, in our videos that we can create. It is applicable in the performance marketing, campaign management, everything, style level forecast, inventory. I don't see, apart from the judgment based human decisions that we take, I think our out of 10 hours we work, I think at least 4 hours are very repeatable tasks. If you can identify those 4-5 hours where you are not applying your creative thinking and are repeatable tasks that you are repeating, rinse and repeating, can you put a playbook to it? Can you put a productized workflow to it? कि किसी बच्चे को दे दिया और ट्यूशन प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो कर लेगा. अगर if you can put any automation like that, then AI is going to be a friend, and don't target next month, because I have seen tech build करने में time लगता है, and it eventually may take 6 months to get to an applicable tech for yourself which is useful, or even a year sometimes. Don't be in a hurry, but just invest your time in it. And I think 1 year down the line, even if you're giving 1-2 hours a week to building something useful, you will see out of your 10 efforts, one effort will be supreme, and that will become your moat. I think people who can use AI well versus people who cannot use AI well will be the two segments of successful versus not successful founders and e-commerce experts in future. And I feel I'm not doing a great job yet. While we are building some tech, we are just building very basic tech, right? And for lack of, we are not very funded type of a company, but if you can even invest time and effort, I think AI can do a lot of magic for you. Is it a one word answer? I think Whole Truth and Mokobara. Any famous person, entrepreneur, maybe Arindam or Shashank from Whole Truth. From I open Blinkit first, and then depending on which category, I either open Amazon or others. I don't do much. Yeah, I mostly open Amazon or Blinkit. Yeah, one lesson, if I knew, I would have started much earlier, is that it's not all dark out there. There are a lot of negative surprises. There are also some positive surprise waiting for you. So if I knew that, I would have started earlier. And all businesses don't need money upfront, so capital is not a requirement always. And in a lot of business, capital is a requirement, but not as much as you have made it in your mind. You can start a business in 5 lakhs, you start a business in 10 lakhs. You don't need crores and millions of dollars all the time. So sometimes we feel capital is a prerequisite to business. Not always. It is probably having a smaller weightage than we thought it in our mind. It is obviously needed in most of the businesses to scale. And there are businesses where you don't need to put in money in the beginning. You get money first and then you execute and all that. A lot of people don't know that, and hence don't start. And they also don't know that they feel everything is dark. It's not dark. A lot of people have a lot of potential, but they don't. I mean, when you go inside, you realize there are positives as well as negatives. I am planning for a long time to go to New Zealand, Australia, sometime, but we have not traveled since a baby for a long time. But yeah, my ideal would have been New Zealand, Australia. Thank you so much, Sunny, for the time. I think it's usually like I said earlier. I think just first of all, very deep questions and interesting questions. I think they always help you reflect back your journey and relearn from them, and partly also feel good a little bit to say यार काफी कुछ किया है हमने, which day to day hustle you don't get to kind of reflect. Hopefully some of our learnings, our reflections can help the next set of brands, next set of entrepreneurs, etc. So great to have a collaboration in this way between Growpreneur and the Goodworth company. Absolutely excited and hope to continue to do some of this going forward also and help the brands together.
Hi everyone, this is your host back again, Sunny Vadvani. Thank you so much for watching the entire episode. Means a lot to us and it really helps us to keep working hard and hard. Now I would want you to do 3 things. One is hit the subscribe button because for you it is free and you know that the content creation game is becoming hard and hard more now because it's so many content creators out in the market. And if you subscribe, it really motivates us and gives us that extra push to keep providing you more and more valuable content and keep bringing you more and more guests so that on the basis of their experience, you can stop your mistakes and you can grow faster than them. Second, do share what is that one thing you liked and what is that one thing you didn't like in this episode in the comment box below so that we can improve in our content basis on your comments in future. Third thing, do share this video with your friends, family members, office colleagues, older friends, school friends, founder community, or whichever professional community you are into, with someone who is already in the process of building a brand online, who are into D2C, e-commerce, online business, or anything related to it, so that they can also learn from it. And if you share more and more, it will also helps us and motivates us to keep providing you more and more valuable content. Thank you so much. See you soon in the next video.